And I am El Pentor. Welcome to the Painter Files. Presents. I am Painter Files. Welcome to Painter's Breakfast. How goes it? How are things? I hope things are well. And it's a vague question, but sometimes I go with vague questions. Um, it's been a really nice week. We went to the Sakura Festival yesterday. So it's a big Japanese festival. So I got I got a short kimono. I forget what they're called. Um, and we ate a lot of good food. And we walked around a lot. It was all in DC. And we watched a sumo wrestling match. It was really cool. Um, I've always wanted to watch sumo live. So it's nice to finally get that opportunity to do so. My cats are playing. Guys, stop it. I'm recording. What are you doing? Yeah, so it was just great. So today I made Mangú. Mangú is a Dominican, like, smashed potato plantain type of dish. You eat it with fried cheese and avocado and red onions. Let me get you on. There you go. Money shot. A little bit of veggie sausage. I put some pickles in there because I like it. A little bit of fried cheese. Very good. Most of these things have a bit of vinegar in them, so they're mostly pretty good for me with diabetes and everything. So I'm excited, you know. This is a good time. Yesterday, if you guys followed me at all, I did some live painting. I did some this way. If I guess any questions, I can actually see what's going on. Okay. So it was just crazy. Like, to see sumo live is a insane event because it is, I don't even know how to describe it. If you've never seen someone who's athletically 470 pounds, it's something to see. These were very big guys, and they were, ex-champions. I don't want to use the wrong terms. I think it's probably the issue I'm running across right now. Rat pets, yes. I have two cats. One is currently on camera with his big head. And the other is above me on a bookshelf. They are affectionately known as the producers. What are you doing? Stop messing with the camera. Hello. So for those who aren't familiar with my show, we eat, we talk, we tell you about all the events that are going on. It's a good time, you know? You have 5 cats and 5 dogs. Jeez, how do you keep track of that? That seems like that would just be madness at a certain point. Just feeding time's gotta be crazy. I think the most I've ever had in my life are 3 animals at once. It's like 1 dog and 2 cats. That was a lot. If I can go anywhere in the world, where would I go? Currently, in this climate, I'd probably go back to Brazil, honestly, or Trinidad. Give myself heartburn. I would do it because one of the things that a lot of people, at least in America, don't realize is a lot of the Caribbean is such like a melting pot of people and foods that it's very similar to kind of like a tropical New York in a way. I feel like I'm stuck in this country. Yeah, I think a bunch of us feel that way right now. Solidarity with that. My grandmother has a dog. My mom is a cat lady, and I live with my mom. Nice. I remember living with my family a very long time ago. It's got to be at least 20 years now. We mostly get along on average, but we also know to like give each other a lot of space, and that has worked well for us. That we all kind of do our own thing. It's an interesting aspect to like meet people who are like really really close with their families. Because it's kind of a little different. Let me see. I live in Syracuse. If I could go anywhere, I would be Tokyo, Japan, or maybe somewhere else in Asia. Okay, why do you want to go to Tokyo? We all want to know. Consequently, Brazil has the most Japanese people cumulative outside of Japan. There's a really high Japanese population. It's kind of interesting. And then the food. Oh my god. The food is incredible. But like, so my grandfather had Dominican roots. And so we I grew up when I grew up I tried to get more into traditional foods of my people. Because I'd eaten a lot of my mom had taught me, kind of brought me up. So we went to all the festivals and all this stuff and all the restaurants and etc. And it had me definitely connected to my roots in a good way. But I had never learned to cook this way. Never learned to eat this way, but never to cook this way. So the last, how about last decade or so? Well, more than that. Last 2 decades, I have been just learning all these recipes that remind me of little parts of my childhood. These meals that blew me away when I was little. The ones, you took to lunch with you, and people are like, why does your food smell bad? So I'm learning to kind of more love and accept and be understanding about the culture I come from. Let me see. I'm gonna also travel to Sweden. Sweden's interesting. I don't know too much about Sweden. The people are nice in Sweden. The architecture is really beautiful. I've been on this weird kick recently of like looking at all these famous architects documentaries. And it's honestly really, really amazing and impressive. I was learning about the Bauhaus period because The Brutalist came out in a movie with Adrian Brody. And I like Adrian Brody, but I wasn't really interested in this movie. so I didn't go see it. But I watched a bunch of reviews about it, and then that put me on brutalist, Bauhaus architecture. And although I'm not a big, uh, I myself am not a huge landscape guy. I mostly do figures. It's very fascinating to like learn about typically art forms I don't do and really have no interest in doing. Like I find that probably is like some of my most fascinating watches these days. I'm always kind of amazed by the concepts of these like impossible things that are made up here, but then people go to like live in them. Like this is wild to me. That was a wild, wild concept. And I mean, it's a house. It's a house. It's a building. It's a condo. It's an apartment. It's a whatever. But I don't know. To me, it's just very fascinating. There was like just kind of an abundance of weird little possibilities. Frank Lloyd Wright, and so on and so forth. And then to learn more about the artist who brought on these movements, and then to learn some of them took advantage of people, like Frank Lloyd Wright. I found out recently had a woodworker from Peru, I believe. I think they said he's from Peru. And he did all these like very amazing woodworking pieces that were very integral and kind of like the Frank Lloyd Wright style. And Frank Lloyd Wright hit him. Which is crazy to me. I'm like, this man was like insanely talented. You used him for all your stuff. He was like your guy. And you didn't even give him credit for it publicly. It's kind of like Warhol. Warhol was like that. There are a lot of artists who made the Andy Warhol look a thing. And he was more curating it and putting it under an umbrella, under his name. And so those people are never known for that. Which is nuts. My guy, Jean-Michel Basquiat, was someone who was very worried about that as an artist. That he would be kind of enveloped in the fame that was Andy Warhol. And for a long time he was, is a crazy thing. Like there was definitely a lengthy period probably in his life and existence where he was honestly just popping up, you know? Making money, popping up, doing his thing, and people looked at him like, oh, it's the protege of Andy Warhol, you know, type of thing. And I'm sure it made him mad and frustrated from the things that I've read. So it's always kind of interesting how this works out. My friend gave me a book a couple years ago that was like a Frida Kahlo book. And it was like one of those paper doll type ones where you cut the back out. This is really good. Cut the doll out, and then you also cut out the clothing. And as a little paper slips on it, you basically slip them over whatever the person is or the thing is, and it does like a different type of thing. costume. And I just love that idea. And I always wanted to do something kind of similar to that as a kid with like my own characters. So maybe I will. Maybe that will be my next luchador style plan. That I make one of those cutout book type of things, and you can make your own little dolls and stuff. See, we're coming up with stuff together. It's really good. So, I bet you're wondering about this. I'll show you. So, with this one, we're gonna walk, we're gonna walk, we're gonna walk, we're gonna turn. Bam. So with this one, I'm working on this for the show that's coming up. It's gonna be really kind of interesting. I wanted to kind of do like a character that's not definitively one way or the other. There's a question there. And I'm gonna do a bunch of tattoos, and there's gonna be color, and there's gonna be that type of stuff. But I want to do it for the show. So the show's in a couple weeks. So I'm excited. Also, I'm working on. I forget this thing does this. I'm working on getting all my pieces ready for the show. So some of you saw me make the last one. Some of you saw me make this one. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. So I want to just kind of work on some layers, maybe some more. I'm a strong believer in there is no such thing as white. This is white. Nothing here is white. That's not how skin works. So I'm working on that. So genuinely, my biggest plan is to just try and make as much art, new art, to go with a lot of the old art that I have, that I want to show off soon, before the show. So I got a bunch of new pieces that no one's ever seen before, but I want to bring out. I mean, you've probably seen them because you watch me on this, but most of these will be stuff that has never been shown, like outside of social media type of things. So that is my big plan. I'm gonna probably go see my friends who own a comic shop in Silver Spring, Panic. So that's the name. Pure Panic Comics. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It was such a good day yesterday, so today can only get better. I hope everyone is being nice to themselves, and no type of crazy cat fights in your life like they are mine. And yeah, I'll put together some art video that you'll enjoy tomorrow. So in the meantime, Galeras, have a good one. I love you much.